Menteri Rangba Jilla Konrad Kisangma ulapan pau bagi arli sarkar jilla juga Megh-Assam bagi Assam kitreshtom kumno banwat kilat kunti banweng no iching e gablane slemha hakabidei bat upud sam hapadengi arjilla.
And today we had a detailed meeting with the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Mr. Preston Tinsong, and Mr. Piyush Hajarika, who is the Honorable Minister and the Chairman of the committee from Assam, the Regional Committee. And we had a detailed discussion and presentation and exchange of the reports that were made by both the committees. And now Assam government has the report made by Meghalaya government and vice versa. And we have gone through it. Again, detailed discussion was also held. And I must say it was a very, very positive discussion. I will not be able to give you details of that yet because we will be meeting at the Chief Minister's level again, and that's when we will be coming out with the final outcome and final decisions, which I hope will be within the next few weeks. We should be able to meet and finalize on the reports that are given and take final decision, at least for the first phase. So that meeting took place today, and as I mentioned, it was a positive meeting, and we have seen the reports. Tomorrow, the committees of Kamrup and West Khasi Hills will again be meeting. This meeting will be held in Guwahati. So the Honorable Minister, Mr. Renington Tongkar, will be going to Guwahati tomorrow to meet up with his counterpart, Mr. Atul Boraji, and they will be discussing and taking the discussions forward for that sector also. So we are hopeful that things will move in a positive direction. They have not submitted the copy to me yet because there was a gap because of the festive week, but we should be getting the report very soon. But unofficially, without the report being submitted also, we have discussed most of the areas, and the details of what is in the report has already been shared with us and informed to us, both by Assam and by Meghalaya committees. So we already know what's there in the report. It's just that the physical copy of the report has not been given to us yet. You see, the words that one can use could be anything, but what we are trying to figure out is that we are trying to find a solution. So when we trying to work on a solution, then we may not have a perfect solution to everything because this is a very complicated problem. And I've always maintained that what we are trying to do is find the best solution. So that is, the best solution is an amicable solution. And an amicable solution requires us to have a good understanding with each other. Trust has to be there. And we need to discuss and we need to see how we can work around things. So it's one way of looking at it that way, or one could look at it the way you're mentioning it. But as I said, for me, the way I see it is that we need to figure out an amicable solution which is going to be acceptable to all. So it cannot be one-sided. That's the whole point. So therefore, there has to be somewhere where we discuss, we realize that that there are areas. But whatever is right has to be done. Whatever is proper to be done, it has to be done. Whatever is important to a state or to the people, and we can't compromise on that, obviously we should not compromise. So there are many factors that will go into it, but I've maintained that negotiations and discussions like these the conversations that we're having, meetings we're having, has to be on a very broad-minded basis, and we have to see how to find a solution to it. And that's the reason why we have shifted the discussion only from pure historic facts to many other facts like people's will, contiguity of the land, administrative convenience, ethnicity. So these aspects are now added to the entire scope of discussion. And so we are hopeful that we'll be able to find the best and the most amicable solution that will suit everybody. Well, we are trying our best. I don't think one can give a date to it and say that, well, it's going to be like, today or tomorrow. I think what is most important to note is that maybe this is the first time that so much of work and effort and exercise has gone into an issue like this. As I said, the ministers and the regional committees have visited each and every village themselves, spoken to the people, spent hours and hours traveling. This has never happened before. What I'm trying to say is that we are very committed to finding a solution to this. Both the governments are very committed to it. Putting a time frame on it is something that obviously pushes us. We do it because it pushes us to ensure that we don't take it easy. We put the timelines. Sometimes we can make it, sometimes we can't. That's the nature of putting tasks. But point is that we cannot just simply rush into things and complete a task just because we've set ourselves a date. We tried to finish things before Christmas. We realized that some areas were working out, some areas we needed to talk more. So we waited and we discussed today. We are discussing tomorrow again. And maybe in a few days' time, again, the Jayante Hills Committee will meet. And again, maybe the chief ministers will meet. So it's a continuous process. But I'm very hopeful that we are moving towards some sort of a solution, at least in the first phase of the 6 areas that we have.